So after my recent video on Indian hair growth secret Ayurveda and discussing how that worked for me and how to go about doing it, you guys had so many questions about how you would do this as a beginner and how to start incorporating it into your regimen. So what I'm going to do is give you guys a mini series starting with how to construct a regimen and then going into different recipes and tips, etc. So watch this space. So this video was actually requested by a few subscribers who said they just didn't know where to start. There's so much information on my channel on how to grow hair, on Ayurveda, on, you know, DIY recipes. They were like, oh, where do we start? So I thought that actually it would be helpful to you to have everything in one video just so that you know what to do when you are starting out your regimen. So we're going to start from the bottom. Now we're here. That didn't make sense. Well, a regimen was absolutely essential to getting me to grow my hair out. I had years and years of frustration with my hair literally staying at this length for pretty much the 20 odd years of my life. And then when I changed my routine and actually started to incorporate Ayurveda, I was able to retain length. Now what you got to bear in mind is even before I started my whole proper hair journey, I used to deep condition my hair on a weekly basis with a quality deep conditioner. I used to straighten my hair only like once a year at most, and I used to trim my hair regularly and you know, eat fairly well, and I still was not able to retain any length. Now actually including henna and oils and Ayurvedic practices was the game changer. So a starting point might be to check out some of my favorites, some of the most renowned Ayurvedic powders, which include henna, amla, for me of late rose powder, and also aloe vera powder, which I don't believe is actually strictly speaking an Ayurvedic powder, but it actually complements them really well. My suggestion number one would be that you don't necessarily want to go in and do a straight, say for example you said you're going to use henna and amla for example. You don't want to go in with a straight henna and amla mask necessarily. Now it could be something that you decide to do if your hair is super damaged, if your hair is limp, lifeless, if you've lost curl formation, if your definition isn't great of your curls, if you've lost your shine and you just want to give it that initial boost. It could be something you want to do, but my strongest recommendation would be make sure when you're doing that mix that you use a lot of aloe vera juice and aloe vera powder just to help take the edge off the strengthening masks, because the strengthening masks, let me tell you, they are so friggin' gangster. Like they will strengthen your hair so much. If you think about spaghetti being like super strong, but then like when you go to bend it, it's gonna snap if it's not got that moisture. So that's why I say be careful about going straight in with like a strengthening hair mask. I would say once you've done the strengthening hair mask, you need to go in with a moisturizing deep conditioner just to kind of reset everything so that, you know, your hair isn't left in a dry or brittle state. But it is nothing comes close to these Ayurvedic powders. So I would say my recommendation would be, first things first, start with a gloss or a tea. So you can actually start by taking 1 teaspoon of each of the Ayurvedic powders. I wouldn't go with more than 2 when you're first starting, and I would say maybe you could start with henna and amla, or you could start with amla and rose powder for example, and add in aloe vera juice and your favorite deep conditioner, moisturizing deep conditioner. This means a couple of things. One, you have a moisturizing deep conditioner balancing out immediately, so you don't actually have to go in and wash out with a moisturizing deep conditioner to follow and then wash out again. So it kind of just makes it a one-stop shop, and it also allows you to be able to see, right, this is super strengthening, this is how I have to handle my hair when it's in this state. So you actually, from the very first application, you can actually feel your hair being super strengthened. So I would say start with a gloss, and then you can like actually gradually increase the amount of henna or amla or whichever Ayurvedic powder you decide to use. You can actually start to gradually increase it as you're going along and then see how that benefits your hair. So start with a gloss or you could start with a tea. Now, a tea is really, really easy to do. I have videos on this already. And what you could do is you could literally just put your herbs into some hot water and leave that overnight, strain out the herb leaves or powder, and then use that spray when you are going in the morning before you put in your moisturizer or your leave-in conditioner into your hair. Spray your hair, especially going in the roots, and with your gloss as well. Make sure that you're going in at the roots, because those strengthening properties and those growth stimulating properties are being tapped into. I would also recommend that when you're doing a tea that you actually add in essential oils, especially, well, you can do it to the gloss as well, but especially to the tea, because it's got such a high water content. It actually allows you to preserve it for longer so that you can use it throughout the week. I also recommend that you keep it refrigerated as well, because that helps to seal down the cuticles to give you that shine and seal in all of the benefits. So as I say, spray from the roots to the ends of the hair, particularly focusing on the roots and on the ends to strengthen them and to also stimulate the growth. And you'll see a massive difference, again, hands down, over any strengthening treatment I have ever used. This is awesome. And in fact, to be honest, you could probably keep a tea or a gloss as your thing forever and never change a thing. For the longest time, even after having a lot of experience, I just went back to using my teas and my gloss. I do actually have a tea that I do sell through Belle Bar Organics, which I'm going to leave linked below if you're interested, but you can always just drop in some henna and use that, you know, in some water overnight. The other thing you might want to do with your tea is you might actually want to use it as a rinse. So the first time you decide that you're going to use the tea, what you might want to do is use it as a rinse. So what you do is, after you've washed your hair, before you deep condition, you actually, from the roots all the way throughout your hair, you distribute this tea from the roots all the way up throughout the hair, and then you leave it to sit for about 5 minutes, and then you go in with your moisturizing deep conditioner over the top without rinsing out your tea. And let me tell you, this helps with postpartum shedding. This helps with thinning of hair, hair loss, stagnation in hair growth. It is so good because you are literally pouring that elixir into your scalp. And as I say, my tea that I've released has got some super awesome growth stimulants and follicle refreshers. So like literally, if you've had follicles of hair or follicles in your scalp where hair hasn't grown for a really long time, it helps to stimulate that. So yes, please do check that out. I will link that below. So key, whenever you are using a tea, whenever you're using a straight mask, let's say that's something that you go into doing, you always want to follow up with a moisturizing deep conditioner. There's so many amazing ones out there. Sheer Moisture has some amazing ones. The Jamaican Black Castor Oil one that they do is fantastic. Giovanni's Direct Leave-In. Camille Rose Naturals, they also have an amazing one with cherry and just there's amazing moisturizing conditioners. What you want to do is you want to go for one with quality ingredients, and you want to go with one that says moisturizing deep conditioner. So another thing that I would highly recommend is that you actually get an oil that you infuse with your Ayurvedic herbs, because it's really, really messy doing a straight mask, and you also, I feel, have to kind of build up your experience to know how to manipulate your hair when it's in that strengthened state. So producing an oil is an awesome way to regularly seal in your moisture into your hair while fortifying it with that strength, because a lot of these herbs, but particularly henna and cassia, actually go in and rebuild and fortify where you have any gaps in your hair. So if you've got shingles missing in the cuticle of your hair, henna will literally go in and fortify that. But when you've got that bossed up with actual oil, emollient and moisturization, it is amazing. Now I have videos on how to do that. I'm actually coming out with a new one, so watch this space. I've already recorded it. So in the meantime, go and check out how I make my Ayurvedic herb infused oils, and there will be another one coming at you. But this is the oil that I currently am using for sealing my hair, and it works great. If you want to know, once you've actually made up your routine and you've actually decided, okay, I'm ready to start using masks and glosses or teas on a regular basis. Okay, so if you use your mask in that week following, do not use your tea or your gloss. Give yourself a break. And then in the second week, use a tea or gloss. Third week, the same. Fourth week, the same. And then into the mask the following week. So I would do a 4-week rotation. In fact, you could use the henna mask every 6 weeks if you wanted, just to start. There's no need to be using it on a weekly basis. My last tip would be, if you are going to use Ayurveda, make sure that you use aloe vera juice and aloe vera powder. Absolute game changers for me as far as me being able to manage using henna. So like when I made a henna mask in the past, I had to be so gentle, just like to be careful not to break my hair, because it was so strengthening, and there wasn't much give to the hair, so you had to be super gentle until you put in your moisturizing deep conditioner. Now when I add the aloe vera juice and aloe vera powder, it is just night and day, a major game changer. And of course, it seals down the cuticles. The pH is amazing for your hair, for your scalp. It promotes growth. Like literally, a growth aid can be just applying aloe vera juice to your scalp. It's a great detangler, etc. So it really does help with you balancing out your Ayurvedic treatment. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It really does help me out if you hit this video with a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that you've really enjoyed this content. It lets me know that you've enjoyed this content and that I can keep this stuff coming at you. Also comment below and let me know any questions that you have, any video ideas that you have. This video was an idea and a suggestion from beneath a video that I previously posted, and literally that I posted within the last week, and I immediately recorded this video. So please do leave comments below. I'm trying my best to reply to everybody. No shade if I can't manage to get around to you, but I am doing my best to do so. I will see you in the next video, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed so you don't miss another video. As I say, I'm trying to upload every 3 days at the moment, so I'm sure I'm going to burn out at some point, but for the minute, that is where we are at. Deuces.